heard of cholesterol. Most have also heard of the various ways to control it. But there's something many people haven't yet heard of. It's called psyllium, and according to some experts, it too may become a very familiar word. John has more.
Experts in cholesterol management are exploring a new area of interest. It revolves around a grain called psyllium, and early studies link its consumption to decreases in LDL or bad cholesterol levels.
Psyllium cereal is a good way to get your fiber in, and we found that when people with mild to moderate elevations of blood cholesterol ate psyllium cereal daily for 6 weeks, that we got an 8.4% reduction in total cholesterol and a 12.4% reduction in the LDL, the bad guy cholesterol.
Psyllium is a grain that's particularly high in soluble fiber and grown in India, Spain, and France. It has 8 times the soluble fiber of oat bran. It's been used for generations, most commonly as a laxative. Under study since 1965, only in the last few years has psyllium's effect on cholesterol been realized.
Psyllium can actually perhaps double the effect of what the soluble fibers from, let's say, oats and barley and some of these other things have given us in the past. And together with taking things out of your diet, the high saturated fats, you can really change your destiny and not end up with this disease.
The biggest challenge is getting people to include it in their diets. Until recently, in order to get psyllium, you had to take it in the only form in which it was generally available, as a laxative. Not too appealing for most people. But since 1989, the grain has been available in a breakfast cereal, making psyllium easier to swallow.
The message is that the addition of soluble fiber in the form of psyllium, at least once per day, probably more than that, can help to achieve a further reduction in blood cholesterol and is worth a try. It certainly seems to have essentially no risk and may have substantial added benefit.
Physicians agree that psyllium can lower cholesterol when incorporated into a low-fat diet and should be considered in an overall plan for a healthy lifestyle, along with exercise, weight control, and stopping smoking.